What's up, dudes? Today's gonna be a short live. Did you tell me something you learned this week and like the video? Guess I did. No, I didn't. I'm thinking. Google Gaga. So, I don't think I've done a live in like 2 weeks. My life has been busy. Very busy. So, my plan is to stay on here for at least 30 minutes. And, if it gets active, I can do a little bit more. I'm willing to do at least an hour tonight. But it's already 9:40. So we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, I'll wait for somebody to join. Until then, I'm gonna work on some of my clients' programs that I have to finish. 1 second. Saturday morning, jumped out of bed, put on my best clothes. Oh man, laptop's tripping. Well, I gotta wait for my laptop to stop tripping. When it's done tripping, then I'll start working on my clients' programs. Until then, I gotta wait. Might have to restart it. I don't know. I don't really know why my laptop's just not working. And I don't know why I wait until the last minute to do all of my work on a Sunday when I know I have to get up for work in the morning. I'm gonna have to reset my laptop. It's not working. Anyways, what are y'all doing, man? What are y'all up to on this Sunday night? I'm assuming it's nighttime where you live at. Where do y'all live at? Or don't tell me. If you don't tell me, then I just assume you live in Australia or Japan. You don't understand anything I'm saying. I may have broken the laptop, guys. This is not good. This is not good. One second, I gotta respond to a text. I'm back. Guys, my laptop is down, so I can't even do my work. So I'm completely dependent on you for interaction. If you're listening to this right now and you're not responding to me, it's messed up, bro. You'll pay. You'll pay for your sins. Ignoring me is a sin. One of the worst ones. I'm actually very upset about this laptop. Don't know what's wrong with it. All right, here's the deal. I always usually normally stay on for an hour, but at least by 10 minutes, people are talking. If no one's talking about 10 minutes this time, I got work to do, and my laptop's not working, so I'm gonna have to use my phone. So I'll take that as a sign to get off of YouTube if no one says anything by 10 minutes. Sometimes the universe is talking to you, man. And you just gotta listen. If you guys never had this mango aloe vera juice, fire. It's probably the best one. Pineapple is a close second. Original flavor is a third. Jasper Baker, you just saved the live stream. Hi, how are you? I'm good, bro. How are you doing? Jasper Baker. What's my favorite music? If I had to pick, maybe if you said I can only listen to one for the rest of my life, I would say bachata. But I like all kinds of music, man. I like all kinds of music. What's up from Compton, bro? From Compton? What's good, bro? Have you lived in Compton your whole life? You like it out there, bro? I've never been to Compton before. I can't really say I have any plans on going. Seen it in some videos. Hey, some people don't like their home, bro. But that's good, though. That's good. It's always good to like where you live, man. Do you think it's changing? I don't know how old you are, so I don't know how long you've actually lived there. But I would say every well-known spot in America that I know, people say it's changing. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing kids take pictures in front of the Marcy Projects in New York, like a field trip or something. You know, just certain places like in the 90s or the early 2000s, like that would typically be no-go zones. Like everybody be there now. So I understand that places change. Jasper Baker, you never followed up. What's your favorite music, bro? It's better now. That's good. You feel safe out there? Can you walk up and down the street? You listen to a lot of 80s music. Give me an example of a song that you like from the 80s. My favorite song, one of my favorite songs of all time is Girls Just Wanna Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. I would say that classifies as 80s music. 80s. Okay, you can. That's good, bro. That's good. You know, one of the things, I've been to California. I've been to California twice. Where was I at? I can't even remember. The one time I was in a hella Mexican town. The other time I was in LA. The one thing I don't really like about California got too much gang politics, man. Like, I heard y'all can't wear certain hats and stuff out there. That's crazy, bro. I got a new attitude. That's a good song, bro. Stir it up or strike it up? Let's hear it for the boy. All right. I said Cyndi Lauper, Girl Just Wanna Have Fun was my favorite one from the 80s. I'm not gonna lie. Let's hear it for the boy. That actually might be my number one. Let's hear it for my baby. It's 80s rap for me. What's your favorite 80s rap song, bro? Oh, Stir It Up from Patty. Okay. Strike It Up is good too. I can't believe I broke my laptop. This is crazy. Maybe he's no Romeo, but he's my loving one-man show. Oh, let's hear it for the boy. Bro, I'm so mad. My laptop is just not turning on. 1 second, I need to use 2 hands for this. Pause. Would I consider doing music reaction videos on my channel? To be honest, I can't say that I would. I really feel like that's like the bottom of the barrel as far as content creation. Like, you're not doing anything on your own. You're just listening to something and reacting to it. Most of the time when I watch people react to music, all right, I will say this. There's like 2 channels that I've seen where like they have input on the song, you know what I mean? They're not just like listening to it like, oh, this is fire. Like, bro, I don't need you to tell me that. I can hear it myself. No, there are a lot of YouTubers doing that. I'm not saying that people don't do it. Just for me, it's hard for me to see myself doing that, bro. Like, I would do it if I could contribute something to the conversation. If I could say, I don't know if y'all knew this, but this lyric means this, or this beat is from here. But I don't want to just like listen to random songs and like have to make faces like, oh wow, this is good. Like, you know what I mean? Like music reaction videos or reaction videos, period, they're only good if you're like super animated. Like it's a certain type of person that has to do it. I'm like the most monotone, non-reactive dude ever. So like I'll be listening to the song like this. And you'll just be like, this is boring. Yeah, YouTube, bro. I've uploaded videos with music so faint in the background. Like when I was at this rodeo a couple weeks ago, I uploaded it and I got like 5 copyright strikes on one video. But you know, all copyright strikes are not bad. It's just if you earning money from the video, you have to split it with them, or you just can't earn money from it. So it's not the worst thing in the world. The copyright strike that'll make you lose your channel is if you're passing off content as your own. You know what I mean? KRS-One, Stop the Violence. That's a good one. Sex and Violence is a good one. Sex and violence, sex and violence. You know what? Hold on 1 second. I gotta do something. Give me 10 seconds. I'm back. I'm back like I never left. Because how can I be back if I never left? What y'all like besides 80s music? Both of y'all like 80s music. That's crazy. Two different genres, rap and pop, but still. What other stuff do y'all like? I love music, man. Music makes me happy. I love all types of music. My thing is vocals, really. So I gotta like the way the person's voice sounds. Then the content after that. You could technically have not good lyrics if you have a good voice, and I'll probably still listen. But if you got the vocals and the lyrics, fire. And then the beat is third. Well, no, it depends. It depends. The beat and the lyrics, I put them on the same level. I would like to have all three, but sometimes artists just can't do that. Finally my laptop's working. I think I had to install some updates. Nope, it froze again. I must have to delete some stuff off of it or something. You did a video on speaking Spanish, being English. Suppose it's still hard. Jasper, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't know what you're saying in that message. Being English, suppose is still hard. I got lost reading that. Could you please reword that? Or maybe if you typed the wrong word, tell me what word is supposed to be different. I want to understand it. Where are you from, Jasper? Billy Idol. Billy Idol's good. Billy Idol. I feel like I'm in a time machine. One second, I'm gonna reply to a text. All right, I'm back. Can you believe my boom go? Rob, what? I mean, vocab to learn Spanish for a haircut. But what were you, Jasper, what were you trying to say though? Oh, your book got delayed. I was wondering what that first message said, Rob. I was like, what? Love the shirt? Appreciate it, bro. A kid gave this to me. I train a lot of kids. I train a lot of adults too, but right now I coach youth soccer too, weightlifting. I do a lot of stuff, man. I do a lot of stuff. Where am I from? I'm from Texas, bro. I wanted to say, how can I remember to speak Spanish for my haircut instead of saying it in English? Okay. Well, there's a couple different things you can do. You can role play, with yourself if you don't have anyone to practice with. So you have to find out what a barber would ask you. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna think of all the stuff that you would say to tell them that. But you gotta do it with confidence. If you don't do it with confidence, they're gonna be like, ah, okay, I'll speak to him in English. But I mean, it's not gonna be perfect, bro. If you've never done it before, if you never practiced, if you don't already have a good level of Spanish, you're gonna fuck it up. But it's cool. That's part of the process, bro. Speaking multiple languages is hard, bro. It's not easy. It's not easy for anybody, regardless of what they tell you, man. Even if you grow up doing both of them, like in one or both of those languages, you're still gonna have some kind of problems. I need to get fit. It's hard to get in the habit of working out. I can see how that could be. Um, but you know what I always tell my clients, especially my new clients, I just say, if you love yourself and you know that this is important for your health, right? You're gonna make time for it. If you have kids, I don't know if you have kids, my journey to fluency. If you have kids, you don't say like, I hope I can take them to school. Oh man, I hope I can feed them. No, you love them and it's important to you that they're fed, that they're taken care of. It's the same thing with yourself, man. You don't have to necessarily go to the gym to work out. You know, you can work out at home. You can work out outside. You can do a lot of stuff. The gym is cool. It has a lot of tools to help you, cover everything that you need. But if it's too hard to get to a gym, that doesn't mean that I don't need to take care of my health. Like, oh, I don't have time to drive to the gym. Okay, do it in your garage. Do it outside. But the actual act of working out and staying fit, it's important. It's important for your health. It's important for your mental too, man. Like it's important. So that's the baseline. That's what I always tell people. Think about that. After that, then it's a matter of organizing your schedule to make it happen. Most people say they don't have time to do stuff. They have time. They, like I said, you just don't want to make time for it. Sometimes you gotta wake up early. Sometimes you gotta do it when you get off of work. Sometimes if you get a long lunch, you might have to work out on your lunch break. Like you just gotta do some deep diving and figure out where you can fit it. And what I always tell people is start with the bare minimum on anything. So, you know, you don't have to work out 7 days a week like I do. Like, you don't have to do that. That's not what's required for fitness. If you play a sport, it might be different. To be fit, you could start somewhere. Start with 2 days a week, start with 3 days a week, work your way up. After you get the swing of 2 or 3 days a week, it might be easier then for you to say, you know what, on this fourth day, I can start doing it here. On this fifth day, I can start doing it here. 5 days is fine. But, you know, once you figure out how you're going to do it, you just got to start, man. You just got to start. And it will become a habit because it's a self-rewarding thing. You work out, you feel better. You work out, you put more weight on there. You run more, you run further. The reward is already built into doing it. So you're going to want to go back and do it. It feels good. What's my channel about? Honestly, man, my channel is about nothing and everything. My channel is me. So it's whatever I'm doing. Whether that's language learning, fitness. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. So a lot of my content used to be geared towards that, but somehow my Spanish content caught more people's attention. So I really don't post that much strength and conditioning stuff on here anymore. My Instagram is like purely strength and conditioning. I don't even think some people on there know I speak Spanish. Do you believe in consistency at the gym? What does that mean? Do I believe in consistency? Suppose I just want to go twice a week. That's fine. Everyone has different goals, bro. What's important is that you stick to your goals. What's important is that when you make that goal, it's reasonable and that you have a plan to stick to it, So nobody can tell you that your goal is wrong, but it's up to you to stick to that goal. Can I read Spanish? I can speak Spanish, bro. But yes, I can read, write, and speak it. Do you think a person should go to the gym every day and be consistent? I think it depends on the person. If you're me, yeah, go every day. If you're an athlete, you might need to go every day. If you're a regular person, you don't need to go every day. My laptop still is tripping. It's pissing me off. Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, I'm getting some motion now. My laptop is functioning. Bigo says, me gusta tu camisa. Muchas gracias. Have you ever bench pressed at the gym? If so, how much can you lift? Yes, I've bench pressed at the gym. The most I've ever bench pressed. I don't really like bench press, bro. The most I've ever bench pressed was 420, 425. I can't remember. I'll have to look at my Instagram. If you scroll my Instagram far enough, you'll see me bench that. I competed in Olympic weightlifting, so I did clean and jerk, snatch. And so in the process of training for that, we bench sometimes, but mainly we squat and pull. So a lot of squats, a lot of deadlifts. Bench, I don't really care for it. Is it hard to lift? No, it's not. It's just doing it. It's not hard. I mean, it can be hard. It can be heavy, but that's like me asking you, is it hard to lift 5 pounds? No, it's not hard to lift 5 pounds for you, I'm sure. Is it hard to lift 10 pounds? Probably not. If I keep going up in a number, eventually you're going to say, yeah, I guess that's where it gets heavy, But, for me, it's can you do it or can you not do it? Lifting weights is not a hard thing to me. It's, a weight might be too heavy that day, but the act of lifting weights is not hard. I don't know if that made sense or not. Damn, your Spanish is fire. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. What makes bench pressing harder than actual weights? I don't know what that means. What about bench pressing you don't like? I just don't care for it. It's not like I hate it. It doesn't do anything for me. Like some people are like, oh, I want to bench 315 or something like that. Like I just never cared. Like I indirectly got my bench stronger by doing other things, which is how I bench 420. But I just don't care for the lift. Like I don't even care when other people lift it. Like when I see people clean and jerk 500 pounds, 550 pounds, that's when I'm like, damn. When I see people bench, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Just doesn't do it for me, man. When you lay down and lift weights. Jasper, you're a mysterious guy, man. I have to imagine you're young. You never told me where you're from. Jasper Baker. Dun, 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 dun. Bilingual mommy. Hey, just seeing your live. What's your goal with Spanish? And sorry if you already answered. What are you doing specifically? I'm very consistent with my learning. Um, I don't really have at this point in my life, I don't really have a goal for my Spanish anymore. Like, when I started, I wanted to be fluent and I wanted to make friends and make new connections and stuff. But, I I can't say that I speak Spanish like I speak English because I have, 30 years of experience speaking English and five or so speaking Spanish. But I use Spanish in my everyday life. My job is mainly in Spanish. I lived in Colombia already. So my Spanish took me to another country and I was able to live there, for a year without speaking English. And like I said, I have friends that don't speak English. So for me, there's nothing else to do. Like I do obviously I want to improve. So I still read. I read books in Spanish and um like for instance, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. What I always try to do is like double layer. So there's things that I would consider like basic level strength and conditioning stuff that I never learned in Spanish because when you're getting your education, you're like I'm trying to finish school. I'm not trying to learn something that's already difficult in two different languages. I just need to pass. So now, I order, strength and conditioning books in Spanish sometimes, even though I know I'm probably not gonna like train people at this level only in Spanish. Most of my clients that are only Spanish speakers, they're general population. I don't have to use any super technical terms with them. I don't have to do any, professional level workouts with them. But it's still just good to know. Like I said, I just like advancing. But I don't have a goal like I did at the beginning, intermediate stages. Like I just gotten to a point where it's just like interwoven so much in my life that it would be like me having a goal in English. Like I don't have a goal for my English. I just continue to get smarter. I continue to read books. I continue to educate myself. So I guess that is my goal, just to educate myself more in both languages, right? Let me see. Let me make sure I answered your question fully. You did say what am I doing specifically? Um, Besides reading, like I said, I still talk to my friends that don't speak English. I do run a WhatsApp group for Spanish learners, so I help them a lot. And that actually helps my Spanish too. Sometimes, just like in English, I know stuff in Spanish simply through experience, but someone else says, "Why is it this and not this?" And I'm like, "Ah, God, I gotta think of why that is." It's a lot different to teach something than it is to just know it. Like even today, when I was teaching my English class, because I teach English, one of my girls said, "What's the difference between everything and all?" And I was like, "That's a good question. That's a really good question." And I had to think of a way to explain it to someone that doesn't know the difference between everything and all, because she says stuff like, um, "Everything of my clothes," and I said, "Okay, it's all of your clothes." And she's like, "Why is it all and not everything?" And I'm like, "Let me let me think." What inspired me to do YouTube? Um, I can't think of a specific reason. I had a channel before this when I used to make music, and I I basically gave up on it, and I just said I have, like I said, I have an Instagram. I have a pretty decent following on Instagram. I think I have like 15 or 16,000 followers because I've been doing fitness on Instagram since like Instagram existed, and everyone always said like you should upload on a longer form platform where like you could explain stuff, because on Instagram I'm only getting like 1 minute, so I'm like kind of just short explanation. They're like, man, I'd like to hear more about this. Which is why this channel, if you scroll back far enough, it was all fitness stuff. And I was doing long videos. I was showing my full workouts and stuff like that. But somewhere along the way, I don't remember how, but people wanted to hear about how I was learning Spanish because people on my Instagram would see. Sometimes I would upload stuff in Spanish and they say, "Oh, are you learning Spanish, bro? Post about it." So then I posted about it on YouTube. And I said, okay, I'll track it on here. You guys will be able to see it. And somehow my channel has turned into way more Spanish than fitness. So I essentially just turned this into a Spanish channel. And my Instagram is my fitness channel. You're that why person. There's nothing wrong with that. You just gotta you can't let the why interfere with your process. So, and trust me, I know all about that. Sometimes you just want to get to the bottom of it so badly, and you don't need to. You don't need to. Sometimes it's just like, this is just what it is. Rob says you're definitely fluent enough. Thanks, bro. How long can Instagram let you upload? I think it's longer now, but in those days, it was like 30 seconds probably when I started my YouTube. I think now you might be able to go like a minute to a minute and a half on Reels. And everything's changing now too, because TikTok started doing like 10-minute videos. So now even I got a message from YouTube that's saying, oh, now you can do 3-minute shorts. So everything's changing. They started realizing that like you need to have all the options. Someone should be able to do short videos and long videos on your platform, or they're probably gonna leave your platform. Yeah, you had to learn that. It's hard, man. It's hard. I kind of envy people that can just accept things and leave it at that. But I love, like I said, I love getting to the bottom of stuff. I love etymology. Even in English, when I hear a phrase or a word that I don't know, I don't just want to know the definition. I want to know, like, how did that come to be? How did people start saying that? Like, I love that, man. I remember when I was a kid, and it was like a full circle moment too. I remember when I was a kid, I learned that goodbye came from God be with ye. So it was God be with ye, and I don't know, somehow over time they crunched it up and it turned into goodbye. And I remember when I first started learning Spanish, the dude that was teaching me, he didn't even understand what I was saying. And to this day, I'm like, I wish I could have told him what I was thinking. But God be with ye. And when I first learned adios, and I first started learning it, and the guy was like, oh yeah, I means this, Dios means God. And I'm like, oh, I get it, like adios, like adios, like you're going with God. I'm like, that's kind of like English, like goodbye. And he was like, yeah, adios is goodbye. And I'm like, oh no, you don't get what I'm saying. I'm like, goodbye used to be God be with you. So I'm like, adios. I'm like, oh, I see where everything's coming from. Like, it's all connected. He had no idea what I was talking about. Just seen some of your videos. You saw the fitness ones? Yeah, I don't know if you have Instagram, but like I said, my Instagram is like all fitness. Which one is easier for you to edit, long or short regular videos? The thing is, if I make a long video, like if you click on my page and you see a video that's like 20 minutes or something, I guarantee you I didn't edit a single thing in there. I'm not doing that. I'm not going through and editing 30 minutes of video. If it's 5 minutes or less, I try to make it like fancy. But most of the time, like especially with my Spanish stuff, one of the things I do is I just upload raw footage so that people can see, okay, in my first year, this is how my conversation looked. In my second year, this is how my conversations looked. You get to hear me mess up. You get to hear me forget words. You get to hear the people that I'm talking to forget words. And so you'll never have to wonder, like, I wonder if he edited out parts where he couldn't remember stuff, or if he edited out this and he really doesn't sound that good. Like, nah, bro. You go look at my old stuff, you'll see times where I had to switch to English, or just straight up had to just ask the person I'm talking to, like, well, how does this go? What is this? You know. But yeah, like I said, I love language, man. I love learning, period. But language is super fun. I feel like Spanish made me more aware in English. Yeah, facts, facts. You know, the one of the hardest things for me when I'm trying to teach someone something in either language, but I'll specifically say for teaching someone Spanish or helping them with Spanish. A lot of people don't speak. Well, it doesn't even matter if you speak with good grammar. A lot of people don't know the grammar rules in English. So I can't even say, oh, it's like this in English because they're like, oh, that's the way you say it in English. And I'm like, yes. I remember one time, he's a friend of mine. If he's watching this right now, he might know that I'm talking about him. But he couldn't wrap his mind around like the difference between saying like he vivido versus había vivido and stuff like that, right? And I'm like, well, it's just like English. I'm like, if I say I have lived here for 20 years versus I had lived there for 20 years, I'm like, what's the difference? And he was just like, it's the same thing. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, what? I'm like, if I say I have lived here for 20 years, I'm like, did I used to live here or do I live here now? And he was just like, uh, you don't live here anymore. And I was like, what? I'm like, if I say I have lived here for 20 years. So I was like, bro, if you don't know that in English, it's gonna be hard for you to learn it in Spanish, of course. You can't even like relate it to a concept because you don't know it. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I never even considered that. I didn't consider that part in someone's learning process. Do I like doing YouTube shorts more than an actual video? I don't really care. Like most of the time I just turn on the camera and record. Long videos on your channel, 20 to 30 minutes long, is actually recorded. Yeah. If you see a long video on my page, I guarantee, like, there might, like, okay, the last video I uploaded about the rodeo, I had to cut some of that because of copyright. And then there were just some clips that were just so long. Like, the video would have been like an hour. So all I did was, if it was like bull riding and the video I recorded was 12 minutes, I just split it. I just split it and deleted it so that it would be 2 minutes instead of 12. But conversations that I have or concept videos, if I'm talking like right now, like how I'm like rambling, I'm not gonna go in and like edit out breathing and edit out parts where I was like off on a tangent. I'm like, whatever. And people are just gonna get what they get. Like start paying me $1 million and I might do a better job of editing. Yeah, haven't had. Yeah, it was that friend of mine. He's still learning. He's still learning, and occasionally he calls me and he asks me questions like that. He'll be like, "So, what is the difference between this and this?" And I'm always like, "Okay, let me start off by saying, do you know this in English?" And if he says yes, then I'm like, "Okay, it's kind of like this." If he says no, then I got to give the English lesson first, and then I give the Spanish lesson after that. So, you know, everyone's not at an equal uh, starting point. And I always tell people that too. Like, when I post my videos, I always say, like, don't compare yourself to me. I don't compare myself to other people because you don't know somebody's history. Like, I always tell people, yes, on YouTube, I will say this is my 6 month progress, this is my year progress, right? Because for me, that started when I got serious about it because to me, I didn't know anything. You know what I mean? Even though I took 2 years of Spanish in high school, I couldn't have a conversation. I couldn't put a single sentence together. But I did know vocabulary words. I knew how to count, and I at least knew some letters. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people, I'm like, if you're starting from dead scratch, don't compare yourself to me. You know what I mean? Don't say like, oh, how come he could do this at 6 months and I can't? You don't. We're not at the. We didn't start at the exact same point. And on top of that, you have no idea how much time I'm putting into this versus the time you put in. No matter what I say, I can't keep track of everything that I do. Just like I told y'all maybe like 10 minutes ago, Spanish is a huge part of my life. So even if like for instance today, right? If you ask me how much Spanish did I practice today, how much Spanish did I do stuff with today? In my head I'm thinking zero because I haven't read anything yet. I usually read before bed. So I haven't read anything in Spanish yet, blah blah blah. But on Instagram, half of my friends are from Colombia. So I've had a bunch of conversations today, but in my head, that's not work. I'm just talking to my friends. You know what I mean? So stuff like that is practice using the language. I'm having conversations and stuff. And people maybe will say they studied an hour a day. And I can say I studied an hour a day, but I listen to music in Spanish. And I did this in Spanish today. And I did this in Spanish today. So we're both saying we studied an hour a day. And we get to 6 months, and you're like, oh, how come I don't have the same progress as you? We weren't doing the exact same things. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just do your thing. Just progress. Just make progress. Like if you had conversations and something you wanted to talk about first can be edited. I just don't like editing, bro. I'm just lazy. I used to work out, but I'm working 6 days and commuting 2 hours every day. Damn, bro. When you say you're commuting 2 hours, are you 2 hours there and 2 hours back? So 4 hours, or 1 hour there and 1 hour back? Joy, hi. How are you? How do you say your last name? I'm gonna take a guess and then you tell me. You're gonna have to do a phonetic typing if you know how to do that. I'm guessing it's. Oh, there's an S there, but I feel like it's silent. So I'm gonna say Zoutner. Or is the Z silent? I don't know the origin of that name. But I'm gonna go with Zoutner. You tell me. You can tell me I'm wrong and give me another guess, or you could just tell me how to say it. Bilingual mommy, tell me more about your journey though. People don't know this, but like I said, I love the process of learning, right? I love learning. So as far as I am, I still watch beginner like if someone uploaded a video today and it's like, this is me 2 months into my speaking journey and like they can barely speak, I watch the video. I just love watching it. I'm like, oh, it's so cool. Like he's learning this word for the first time. And I watch so many videos like that, people probably don't even know. Sometimes I comment on people's video and I'm like, good job. The chat length is so short. Do you know how many characters it is? I don't even know. You just gotta leave multiple comments. You don't have to type out an essay. I just want to generally know what you're like, where you're at, and what you're doing. What's hard for you, maybe. Been learning for 5 years. You work with Spanish speakers. Okay, that's good. That's always the best thing right there. Even if you don't get a heavy amount of interactions, just the fact that you get to interact. 1 hour each way. Okay, that's not horrible. That is it's something for sure. I used to do that. Before I moved to Colombia, I used to do that. I used to live in Washington and I would commute. What do you do for work? Does it drain you to the point that you don't want to work out afterwards? You're studying in college now. Hardest, a ver. What what about a ver? What do you think the hardest part about that is? Currently learning the subjunctive. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's very important. You know, my biggest, I don't know the word I'm looking for. I'm gonna say gripe. My biggest gripe with people that teach Spanish is that they save the they do exactly what you're doing. They tell people to wait on the subjunctive. And I just feel like that's the worst thing that you can do because you basically lay down this foundation and you got to rip it up because you're like, oh, I've been saying all this stuff wrong. Whereas, like, if you teach both of them from day one, just like you would teach a kid, like when a kid says something wrong, you just correct them or you just say it the right way after them. Most native Spanish speakers don't even know what the subjunctive is, but they know that if they say espero que, that they're going to say estés and not estás, right? But what people that teach Spanish do is let you get away with saying espero que estás. And then one day they're like, here's the subjunctive. For the last 5 years, you've been saying everything wrong. You should never be saying estás after you say espero que estés bien, not estás. What's up, Unc? We on that college grind. What college? What you doing in college, bro? What you studying? I'm so glad I'm done with college, man. I didn't hate college, but I just wanted my degree and bounce, bro. I was not trying to do any masters or PhD or nothing. You hate learning in school? Nah, I feel that. Trust me. Nah, you know what? School had me thinking that I just wasn't built for languages. Like, people don't believe me when I say that now, but people in my life would tell you that, like, I had stretches where I tried Spanish in high school. I tried Duolingo. I tried this. I tried that. And I just could never get it. I'm like, bro, I'm just not built for language learning. And it wasn't until I just stumbled upon the best method on accident. And I just took off. And I'm like, dang, I wasted so much time. Learning Spanish in school is trash. Yeah, 100%. I don't disagree. I mean, what I tell people, whether they're learning in school or through an app or whatever, you really have to take that as just as a little base and take that and go out into the world and talk to people. And you're gonna have to learn a lot of stuff on your own. Yeah, exactly. Learn from conversation. That's really what you have to do. It's just like a little kid. You can read books to a kid. You can tell them certain stuff about grammar, but you can't explain grammar to a 3 year old. You just tell them, you're hungry. Say, I'm hungry. And they say, I'm hungry. And then they attach, I'm hungry with, my stomach is growling. You know what I mean? They feel their stomach and they say, oh, I'm hungry. You don't have to explain to them, hungry means this. I is you. You don't have to do that. You pick it up. That's how our brains work. Like, they're puzzle solvers. You know what I mean? So, uh, and there's an advantage and a disadvantage to learning a language as an adult, right? As an adult, you already have a base in another language, so you could say this word is like this word. The problem with that is when I see a bottle, when I see this bottle, the word bottle, I don't even think about the word bottle. I just know what a bottle is, right? If you ask me what it is, then I tell you it's a bottle. But when people learn a language, then they say, botella is bottle. Then they see this and they say, this is a bottle. What's the Spanish word for bottle? So then you got this whole process happening in your head when you should just learn that this is botella, right? And then after that, you won't have to do an English to Spanish conversion before you say it in your head. If you just learn the same way you learn English, your Spanish will be so much more smooth and fluid, which is what happens when you have a conversation. You learn, you basically just learn on the fly. You hear other stuff people say. You're like, oh, okay, okay, okay. Chemistry, ooh, you studying chemistry. Chemistry and physics broke me off in college, bro. Had me stressed out. Don't miss those days, bro. Used to piss me off, bro. Cause our coach, I ran track in college, and if we didn't have, basically, if we didn't have straight A's, our coach was like, athlete study hall is at this time. Y'all need to be there. And now I'll just be like, oh my God, bro. Chemistry and physics were the classes that were, I was not getting an A in those classes at all. And I'll be up in the study hall. They have free tutors for us. Tutors be explaining that shit, boy. I'm like, what? They say it like it's real simple. They're like, no, you're just doing this. I'm like, bro, it ain't just nothing. None of that made sense, bro. I had to run it back a few times. Third time's the charm. Third tries the charm. Yeah. I don't remember if I failed chemistry or physics. I failed one of them though. It was like the first time I ever failed something, bro. That shit had me. That shit had me feeling like I was not smart, bro. I couldn't believe it. My tutors are Colombian. They taught me everything. My coworkers are Mexican. I gotta fight every day about vocabulary. Yeah, you know what? Lots of people, because obviously we're right next to Mexico. Lots of people learn Mexican Spanish and they hear Mexican Spanish all the time. So they're like, "Oh, it's so clear. It's the easiest Spanish." For me, the person that taught me Spanish is from Colombia. All of my friends are Puerto Rican and Colombian. All of the time I spent in Spanish speaking countries I lived in Colombia. I visited Puerto Rico. The only Mexican Spanish I interact with is at the boxing gym. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes are real deal Mexicans too. And I don't know, they got a totally different rhythm. So for me, Mexican Spanish is like it's the it's the one for me where I gotta really lock in when I'm talking to them. Their slang and everything is just totally different than Puerto Ricans and Colombians. So way different. Existential dread. Yeah, man, but you're gonna be alright. You're gonna get through it. Hey, if I did it, you can do it, bro. I ain't stupid, but I ain't the smartest person in the world either. You know what I'm saying? If I can do it, bro, you can do it. Trust me. It's just a matter of wanting to get it done. If you want to get it done, you'll find a way. You should be, what month is it? March? How long until you finish school? Ooh, biology. Y'all both going through it. They want to correct my pronunciation. Yeah, some words. It depends on what part of Mexico they're from too, though. Because Mexico is huge and they got like 18 different accents. Some of their accents are not too far off. And then some of their accents are like real Mexican, super not anything close to Colombians. But the one thing that Mexicans say, Mexicans say frijoles, and Colombians say frijoles. So that's always a big fight. Especially if they know that you learn Spanish, they always will say, "Oh no, you're confused. You're just pronouncing it wrong." And I'm like, "No, trust me, they say it like that." My parents taught my wife how to speak Spanish. That's dope, man. Where are you Mexican? Where are your parents from? Type shit, always learning, and I got 2 years left. Then the crazy classes. you'll be alright. You'll make it, man. It's just a chapter you'll look back on. It's good for you. It's good for you. I'm glad I went to college. I'm glad I got a degree and stuff. I don't. It doesn't really matter to me, and I don't think less or more of anyone that doesn't have one or has one. But my parents wanted me to get one. My parents are super, super educated. My dad, it's you're gonna think I'm gassing it, but I'm not. My dad has 2 PhDs and 4 masters. Like that dude just be sitting around getting degrees, bro. My mom got a couple masters. So they were like, bro, you gotta go get a bachelor's bare minimum. And I said, okay, I will. And like I said, I'm glad I did. But I'm done, bro. I ain't getting no more degrees. I'm done. I like learning. I like educating myself. I like reading. I don't want to go to school ever again. But the way the economy is, I might have to. I might have to go get me a little master's, but I don't want to. Don't want to. Man, I ate some Wingstop today. My stomach's still full, bro. I ate that hours ago. Jalisco. I know somebody from Jalisco. That's cool that your parents taught her how to speak Spanish. That's I mean, like I was just saying, that's like the best way, man. Just to have people in real life just talk to you. That's the best thing you could do. What's up? How long you been on? Rolando, I've been on for an hour. What's crazy is, Rolando, sometimes I'll be like, nobody's talking. I'm going to get over here early. I was on here, and I was like 10 minutes in. I'm like, nobody's talking. I might get off. And I don't think he's in the chat anymore. But Jasper Baker, he saved a life. He came in and started talking. Now there's people here. I said I was going to at least do an hour, so I made it to an hour. It's 10:41. I might take it to about 11 o'clock. About 20 more minutes. The girl's parents are from Louisiana. What part of Louisiana? My dad's family's from Louisiana. I'm a country boy. Texas and Louisiana. Oh, man. I had a long day. I really didn't have a long day. I don't know why I said that. I should say I had a tough day, a hard workout. Then I had company over, so I was socializing. That makes me tired, bro. I can't even lie to y'all. But I was running today, so I'm a little bit tired. Best advice for learning Spanish from someone who's better with numbers than words. Check this out, man. I'm sure you are better than numbers with words. Better with numbers than words, but your brain was literally made to learn languages. You can look at areas, like Northern Africa and stuff like that, where people can handle 4 languages at a time. Like, bro, your brain is a puzzle solver. We need language to communicate. If you weren't born in America and you were born with somewhere else, you still would have learned that language. So it's not like you're only built to have one language in your head. Like, all humans are good with languages. And my best advice for you would be just like what I was saying earlier. Like, the same way you learn English, that's the way you need to learn another language. You get a little bit of vocab, and you start using that vocab in context as early as possible, and you learn from other people that already know how to talk. A little kid, they might only know how to say hungry, right? That's all you know how to say. You heard other people say it. Your parents taught you hungry, food, hungry, food. That's all a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old could say, bro. They turn 3 and 4, they start putting sentences together. Like, for example, I train a lot of kids, right? And like my 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, they say stuff like, her hit me, her hit me. And I say, oh, she hit you? She hit you? Tell her she should not hit you. It's like they learn words, they hear you say her, and they say, okay, her is a girl, right? So they know that. But they haven't put the puzzle yet that you can't say her when you need to say she, and vice versa, right? And it's the same way. You're gonna start speaking and you're gonna make hella mistakes like that in Spanish, and people are gonna tell you, oh no, you don't say that, you say this. And you're gonna be like, what? I thought ella meant this and I thought L meant this. And they're gonna be like, yeah, it does, but this is different. And you'll be confused. And as you grow in the language, just like you grew in English, you will figure it out yourself. You know what I mean? It's still good to study, just like in English. You had to go to grammar school at some point. Whether you paid attention is a different story. But you know, when you're about 7 or 8 years old, you start going to school, or 6 or 7, whatever. 6 or 7 years old, you start going to school, and your teachers would tell you, like, this is incorrect. This is the way you're supposed to say it. Same thing. I would recommend people just talking first, you know what I mean? And then you kind of refine your language with grammar studies. But what people usually try to do is the opposite. They learn all these grammar rules and they have no experience, no flow. So then they go out in the field and they're thinking about all of this stuff and they can't spit anything out. And it's like it doesn't matter if you know all of that stuff if you don't practice it, if you can't do it. On IG, I do challenges. What kind of challenges? Do I follow you on Instagram? If you follow me on Instagram, I'll follow you back on there. Trying to get my YouTube together. I don't know what to talk about. Talk about anything. Talk about anything. You know, well, for you, it's a little late in the game, but I was going to say the best thing that anybody could do on YouTube is to show them from day one progressing through the language. Because people essentially don't believe it's possible. Anybody that they see, usually there's not enough footage of them in the beginning. So they're like, that person was probably already good when they started. You know, so if you can get some clips from when you started, it really makes people believers and they see themselves and they're like, oh, maybe I can do this. That's what happened to me. I saw certain people and I said, oh, damn, like, I thought I wasn't good at languages. I'm like, if this person went from that to this, I gotta be able to do it. Like, no disrespect to them. I just, like, why can't I? You know what I mean? So, but outside of that, I mean, just literally post anything. You'll be surprised what will help people. Talk about your processes. Talk about what you do to learn better. Like you just said, you do challenges. You know, I don't know what the challenges are. If you made a video about the challenges you do, I'm sure people will watch it. I will watch it. Um, yeah, like I said, talk about your methods, talk about your mistakes. I got so many stories of years ago when I was like really trying to learn before I got fluent, and I said some crazy stuff. Didn't know it was crazy at the time. Got better, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. That's why she was laughing. Like, you just don't know, man. You have no idea. And sometimes it's just, someone can't even explain to you how crazy it is. Sometimes my English students say stuff, and I'm like, I can't even explain to them the sexual connotation of what they said because they wouldn't understand my explanation. They're not far enough along in English. So I have to just say, I'm not going to tell them now. I'm just going to tell them, like, you can say that. Better way to say it would be this, but you can say what you just said, you know. One thing that happens a lot, I don't teach vulgar stuff, but outside with people that I just know that are learning English, you know, they want to talk with cuss words, they want to talk with slang, particularly Spanish speakers when they transition into English, you know, like our phrasal verb, this is a very specific example. Our phrasal verb to fuck someone up is to beat them up, right? But to fuck them is to fuck them. It's sexual. In Spanish, the separation is through context. Joder is joder, whether you're joking or actually fucking. And a lot of Spanish speakers, like when they learn English, like when I'm in the boxing gym, a lot of these dudes, they'll be like, yeah, I can't wait to fight that dude. I'm gonna fuck him. And I'm like, you're gonna fuck him up, bro. You gotta say up. You have to say up. So I'm Mexican, my wife is black, and both sides get along like one big family. Love when we all get together, nothing but love. That's dope, man. Yeah, make mistakes, get messy. Exactly. Learn organically. Yes. That's the best way, man. Like I said, um, there's nothing wrong with refining. You definitely should learn more if you want to communicate better. But at first, you just got to get going. People do way too much studying and watching videos about how to learn better. And I'm like, bro, in the 3 hours that you watched this video about how to learn better, you could have been just learning already. Context and commas are everything. Let's eat grandma versus let's eat grandma. Yeah, exactly. Spanish challenges. Yeah, make videos about that. Did you know vulgar originally just meant popular, or if the common people, or of the common people? Yes, I kind of did know that, because whenever I see language references, it'll say like, I don't know exactly what the pronunciation is, but it will basically say like Latin vulgar, something of the sort, talking about the everyday speech of people that spoke Latin in that time. And I used to always see it, and I'd be like, why the fuck they put vulgar? Like, but just like I talked about, through context, enough times I saw it, I'm like, this has to be the word for I can't think of I can't think of the other word I'm looking for. Can't make us a video on how to study Spanish while watching YouTube. You want to know, if you want to study Spanish while watching YouTube, you should translate in your head everything that you hear. That's what you should do. That's actually so. Even though I don't think it's always a great thing to translate, that's something I used to do in my early stages. Anytime I said something in English, if I had a conversation at the gym or something like that, I would just be like, if I talk to a Spanish speaker right now and they ask me that same question, would I be able to respond in Spanish? And so someone will come up to me in the gym and they'll ask me something, and I would basically try to think of how to ask that question in Spanish and how I would respond in Spanish. But yeah, it's easy to fall into the YouTube trap, man. I do that all the time. Still. About shit that I don't even want to learn, bro. Even bro, I'm telling you, I just told her earlier, like, I will watch, not only will I watch someone's Spanish progress video, like if someone makes a 2 month progress video, I watch it. But also if I see a video that says, do this to learn Spanish fast, I'll click that shit and I watch it like I don't already speak Spanish. Why? I don't know. I do that with English videos too. Someone's like, how I learned to speak English in 1 year and how you can too. I'll be watching that shit like I don't speak English, bro. I don't know. There's something about it that just feels good watching. I'm like, oh, that's a good tip. That's great. Like, I'm not gonna fucking use it. I already speak English. Oh, Commoner's Latin. Oh, very interesting. The Latin Master Rolando. You feel me, Zay? That's what I be doing, bro. YouTube, like I said, it's a trap sometimes, man. I mean, if you're bored, it's cool. But if you're really trying to do something, if you're really trying to learn something, like, just, just take what you learned from that one video and just dip, bro. Don't watch 5 videos. You're gonna get way more done just practicing whatever versus watching videos about it. Like for instance, he's probably not in the chat right now, but one of the people in my WhatsApp group, he sent like a 20 or 30 minute, no, I'd say 20 minutes, like a 20-minute video about the subjunctive for people in the group. And I watched like some of it, and I told people like the problem with this is you're gonna watch all of this and you might even remember some of the rules, but you're not going to be able to use it in conversation because you're going to be thinking about the rules. It's good to have that information, but it's better to just practice it. So, like, if you already know the rules of the subjunctive, you don't need to watch no more videos. You need to make more sentences. You need to practice. You need to talk more. You could watch 100 videos where they say, this will help you remember the subjunctive better. Nothing's going to help you remember better than it being just automatic because you said it 5,000 times. Like I said, most native speakers don't even know what the subjunctive is. Even in English, people just say, you don't have to know what the subjunctive is. You just know what it means to say, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. Now, if you ask 10 people on the street, what is the subjunctive? They're going to be like, I don't fucking know. But they know how to say, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. Or they know how to say, I don't know, as if it were magic. They know how to say that, but they don't know the name subjunctive. They might not know the rules exactly. They just speak English and know how to say it. Should I get off at 11? I gotta wake up kind of early. I was last years old when I learned English as a subjunctive. That's my point, bro. You probably used it a million times and didn't know it existed, didn't know what it was called. It's like that for Spanish speakers too, bro. Like, you ask a lot of them, what's the subjunctive? And they'll be like, what's that again? And if you tell them, like, oh, when you say estés versus estás, they say, oh, that, yeah. And they'll know, but they don't know. Some of them don't know what it's called if they're not like super educated, or if they're not educated in the Spanish language. They don't know what that shit is. They just know how to talk because their parents talked and their friends talked and they listened and they said, oh, okay, whenever you do this, you need to say this. But yeah, sometimes they don't teach us that in our English class. I don't remember it being called subjunctive. I mean, I can't say they did teach it to you because I wasn't there. But a lot of the stuff that they teach in English class, you just don't care because you speak English. So a lot of the stuff that you're learning, you just don't take it seriously. Yeah, just you maybe pay attention to the stuff that you don't know or stuff that sounds weird. And even if you did learn it, you might forget it. Like today, this is complex, but I'm gonna try to simplify it. When I was teaching one of my students English, I asked her what she was learning in school. She lives in Colombia, she's Colombian. And she told me she was learning, she didn't know how to say it in English, so she told me in Spanish. She was learning about degrees and radians. And she said, do you know what that is? And I said, yeah. And she was like telling me how it works. And she was asking if I knew how it worked. And I'm like, I know. We learned it. I can't remember. I'm like, it's like times pi divided by 2. I don't remember. But I know when I took it, I passed the class. Like, I'm sure they taught us a lot about it, but it wasn't important to me. I'm 32 now, bro. So I'm sure it was like that for you in English. If you learned it, you just might not remember. When do you say subjunctive in real life, bro? You would have deleted that shit from your brain. Same thing with all the other English rules. If you had English class, you had to learn rules, or else what were you learning in English class? You know what I'm saying? You learn the zero conditional, the first conditional, the second conditional. I teach English and I don't be remembering that shit. Well, I don't know what kind of school you went to, bro. I don't know what y'all was doing up in English class. Y'all motherfuckers was up in English, not learning English. That's crazy. But yeah, like I said, since I teach English to Spanish speakers, I be having to know the names of these rules and shit, and I just be like, man, I don't remember that shit, bro. Yes, I remember, but I remember in the sense, like I just said, I remember being taught it, but I wouldn't remember it before I learned Spanish. I should say that. Like, if you ask me what I learned in English class, I'll say I literally don't remember anything from English class. But as I learned Spanish and I learned the phrases like the subjunctive, the first conditional, I was like, oh yeah. I remember learning that in English. I just don't. I wouldn't recall it out of the blue because I didn't fucking care about English class. You know what I'm saying? But that's a lot of stuff. Like I said, I've helped a few of my friends' kids with math, bro. They be showing me that shit, bro. I'm like, in second grade, y'all doing this? And I'm like, what? I'm like, did they teach us this? I'm like, oh yeah. It takes me like a couple minutes, but I'm like, yeah, I remember this. I remember Pythagoras theorem and all this bullshit. Like, you just delete that shit from your mind, bro. It's almost fucking trauma. I was just trying to make it, man. I was just trying to make it through school. Like I just told Buddy in the chat, even in college, Mega Shark. I chemistry and physics. However, I passed those classes, bro. I couldn't tell you a thing from chemistry right now. I deleted all of that shit from my memory, and that was college. So I definitely can't tell you much about high school. Physics, can't tell you much. I can tell you force equals mass times acceleration. Probably because my tutor told me that shit so many damn times. I wanted to smack his ass. I was like, okay, bro, I got it. But outside of that, what do I remember from physics? Nothing. Glad I ran into the channel that one dude, Jasper, made it possible. Yeah. Shout out to Jasper. Shout out to Jasper. He saved the live stream. I was supposed to get off at 11. Zay always comes in and does this. Yeah, bro, we was wrong on the fight. That was crazy. Tank wasn't focused, man. Lamont came to fight. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take nothing wrong. I don't want to take nothing away from him, but Tank on some bullshit, bro. He ready to go. He didn't have Coach Calvin as his main coach. He wasn't listening to him. You could tell he couldn't make no adjustments. Normally, Coach Calvin be like, "This what you gonna do? You gonna throw the uppercut? You gonna do this?" Tank didn't even throw no damn uppercuts. He wasn't there, bro. Kendrick Lamar, Kanye. Kanye on some weird shit right now, bro. I'm gonna have to say Kendrick Lamar, and I don't even really like Kendrick Lamar. But yeah, Castro. I mean, that's the beauty of boxing, bro. That's why we love it, man. I really don't get. Everybody been bitching and complaining about the fight, but I'm like, bro, it was a good fight. Two dudes throwing down, bro. Like, why you mad? Like, you wanted to see Tank just smoke dude and have no trouble. Like, I don't know what people be wanting, bro. Do I fuck with J. Cole? I couldn't like tell you none of his songs. He's kind of boring to me, but he's good. I don't got no big three for real, bro. I really just be listening to random music. I probably could tell you like a SoundCloud rapper before I could tell you somebody popular, bro. Like I swear to God, I get on YouTube and I be clicking like the algorithm be bringing me some dude with 200 views on his YouTube video, and I be listening to that shit, and it be fire too. I be feeling like artists on the street got more talent, not talent. I should say they got more energy. They have to really make good music because they don't have enough fans. You know what I'm saying? When you have fans, you could put out some bullshit and people are like, nah, you just gotta let it grow on you. Nobody's doing that for nobody that has 3 fans, bro. They're not letting the music grow on them. So I feel like they be really trying harder. You know what I'm saying? My favorite rapper, I don't have a favorite rapper, bro. I'm telling you, I really don't follow. I just don't follow artists like that, bro. I guess there's a few people that maybe like if I heard they put out something like, when Kendrick Lamar or Drake, if they put out something, I'm gonna go listen to it at some point, but I don't follow them. Like I couldn't tell you no tracks off of Drake's last album. I could tell you a few Kendrick Lamar tracks right now because he's just so popping. You hear that shit everywhere. I can't scroll Instagram without hearing "They Not Like Us" and that Peekaboo song, bro. I open my phone instantly. I just hear 80 pointers like a Kobe game. Like every single time I open my phone, bro. I've never even heard that full song, and I probably know half the lyrics to the song. Um, but like I said, the last the last full J. Cole song I listened to was probably like you know that song where he's like rapping about when he's like a kid, like losing his virginity or some shit like that, bro. Like that's the last J. Cole song I listened to for real. Zay, did you just hear me say I don't got no favorite artist, bro? I got no favorite artist in any genre, bro. I am a music baby. I really listen to all music from everybody. I'm telling you, half of the songs in my phone, half the songs on my YouTube, you would have never heard of them in all genres. Reggaeton, salsa, bachata. If I could pull up a bachata track right now, bro, you would have never heard it, dude. My favorite bachata track, I don't even know his name. I dead ass don't know his name. And it's a rendition of a Mexican banda song, but he did it to a bachata beat. And it's fire, bro. So it's a cover of Fuentes de Ortiz, but it's bachata. If you just like if you typed in bachata Fuentes de Ortiz, like probably it will pop up. Which one do I listen to more? I think I think the genre that I listen to the most is bachata. Dominican bachata, specifically. No, that's a lie. I probably listen to reggaeton more. It depends. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm working out, I listen to bachata. If I'm chilling, I listen to reggaeton and salsa. Salsa's up there too. It just depends. Depends on the day. Depends on my mood. I be all over the place, man. I listen to drill music too. I listen to everything, bro. I listen to Malianteo, like straight up gangster rap from Puerto Rico, like everything. Kanye's a strange individual. Yeah, I agree. Strange is the right word. Motherfucker walking around with swastikas on his shirt. Mm. What's your take on Jay-Z and Beyonce? The Illuminati trying to take down upcoming artists, bro. I don't believe in the Illuminati. I did when I was in like high school. That was like 15 years ago. You might be. Are you in high school? If you're in high school, that would make sense. Um, I think one time I saw a tweet that said, "You crazy if you think they letting black people in the Illuminati," and I was like, "That's some real shit." Yeah, Rolando, it's a fire song. You know, it's funny. I actually heard the bachata version before I heard Ed Maverick's real song. And I hate when stuff like that happens because when I really like a song, bro, I can't. It's hard to get into the original because I'm so used to the rhythm of the cover. But his song is really good, and I understood why the dude did the cover. Because when a song is just fire, you could just make it fit any genre, and that song is just fire like that. What about Tory Lanez, bro? You think Beyonce and Jay-Z put him in jail? You think they influenced the court and the judges and the jury or what? And if that's the case, why did they have a lawyer trying to go after Jay-Z? They accused Jay-Z of being a pedophile this year, bro. He got out of it. The case was dropped, but I don't think they would do that to the Illuminati. You're into Ed Maverick's music altogether? Oh my God, Axel, why are you still awake? They set him up with Megan Thee Stallion, or he set himself up, bro? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Yeah, Axel gotta wake up at 4 in the morning and she's still awake. That's not good. That's not good. I need to go to sleep myself, actually. Do I think P. Diddy will get out of prison? Oh, that's tough to say, man. I think I don't think so. His lawyer just dropped him. His lawyer said he refuses to work with him, and his lawyer defended Osama bin Laden. So that's something. I think he's probably headed down the R. Kelly route. R. Kelly got away with stuff for a long time, but when it catches up, it catches up. So I think that's where Diddy's at right now. I think when they get stuff that they can make stick, it's one thing when there's rumors, you know what I mean? But when the FBI can do raids and stuff, I think that's when you in trouble. Hola desde Vietnam. Hola, ¿cómo estás? What's the weirdest thing you ate or heard of eating in Colombia? I ate a hot dog with some quail eggs on it. I thought that shit was good too. Kanye fuck with Diddy, you know that, right? In what sense? I don't follow Kanye or Diddy, bro. I don't like either of them motherfuckers, so nah, Zay, it was fire, bro. You know them Colombian hot dogs are crazy, bro. NBA YoungBoy can sing. I never heard him sing. I don't know. I heard like 2 of his rap songs. Pretty decent. Not really my type of music, but he's pretty decent. Good night, bro. Appreciate you stopping in. I'm about to get off of here soon. Maybe in like 3 minutes. Maybe I'll catch you another time. I still gotta write some workouts for my class. I'm slacking, bro. That's gonna stop me from going to bed early. He's ask questions. Bro, why you trying to keep me up? I'm gonna be sleepwalking at work tomorrow. You learned that you could find salsa dancing and Spanish speakers in Vietnam? Oh, really? Are you from Vietnam or where are you from? It's 11:13. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 11:15. I think I'm gonna. All right, let me see. In 6 minutes, I'll be at 100 minutes of live. Maybe I'll go to 11:20 because that's 6 minutes from now, and that'll put me at 100 minutes of live. Depends. Depends if there's questions or if people are talking. Oh, you're from the USA? What part of the USA are you from? Imagine if someone knocks on your door and it's P. Diddy or that. What you mean? I'm not gonna answer the door, bro. What? What kind of question is that? I don't know what I'm supposed to say. You from Minneapolis? That's cool. I've never been there. Heard it was nice. No, actually, I have. I went when I was a kid, but I haven't been back since. Where's the next trip gonna be this year? Don't know. Guatemala, Mexico. We'll see. I gotta get back up to California, to Colombia too. I was about to say California. I don't know. Am I excited for GTA 6, bro? You think GTA 6 coming out? They got you, bro. They got you, bro. They tricked you. You fell for it. They've been saying that since I was 6 years old. Orlando, what is it? I don't think so. How old am I? I'm 32. I was exaggerating when I said since I was 6 years old, bro. But it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat step two. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Appreciate you, Big O. Let's see. Okay. Nah, for real at 11:20, I'm getting off. How to raise a Latina? Same way you raise everybody, bro. Confidence and don't be a weirdo. All women are different, bro. If you don't think they are, it's probably not gonna be good for you. It's a brand new city in Guatemala. They made it classic colonial architecture style. It's really nice, but people critique it for being upper class. Interesting. I have to look that up. Nah, I never heard of it. I'll get on TikTok and look it up. TikTok has everything. Thanks, Richie. Richie, how old are you? I don't think you ever told me. I guess that you're probably a teenager. I could be wrong. You could be even younger. But I don't think you're older. Three more minutes, y'all. After that, I really gotta get off for real. Finish my clients' workouts, and then I need to go to sleep. You're 20? I don't believe you. But I could see that. To me, that's still fresh out of high school. I know it don't feel like that to you. If you're actually 20, you probably feel like high school was a long time ago and you're a super grown man now, but 20. 20. I'll take your word for it, though. I believe that you're 20. What Spanish shows or movies are you watching right now? I recommend. I can't say that I'm watching any at the moment. Well, there's like a few that I like. I don't know how to say it, but like I watch it like full time, bro. They're like super long novellas, so you don't ever really get through them. But La Mamá de Diez, I don't know if you would like that because it's about soccer. And then what's the other one? I don't even remember what it's called, bro. You have to ask me on Instagram. I could find it, but I don't know. I'm always watching stuff, but I'm always watching different stuff. I can't, bro. Learning Spanish from Duolingo is not gonna take you far, but it's an okay base. You just have to take the little stuff that you learn and go use it in real life. But if you solely use Duolingo, you're not gonna go nowhere, bro. You like drugs, crime, suspense, mystery. I got a few I could send you. Just hit me up on Instagram, bro, and I'll either tonight or tomorrow when I wake up, I'll send you a list of ones that I watched before. All right, it's 11:20. I'm really getting off of here because your boy's sleepy. All right, thanks for chatting it up. I'll see y'all probably next Sunday, but I might do one in the middle of the week. We'll see. We'll see.